My father! The chariots and horsemen of Israel!
In a time when darkness tried to overshadow the light of God in Israel, there stood a prophet like no other, Elijah, a man of fire, boldness and unwavering faith, a man who spoke and the heavens responded, a man who walked so closely with God that nature itself obeyed him. But even the greatest journeys on earth must come to an end, or so it seemed. This is the story of Elijah's final moments on earth and the rise of Elisha, the one who dared to ask for more. The day had come. Though the world around them moved numbly, heaven had already made its decision. Elijah was about to be taken away. But only one person seemed to sense it deeply, Elisha. Elijah turned to Elisha and said calmly,
"Stay here, for the Lord has sent me to Bethel."
"As surely as the Lord lives and as you live, I will not leave you."
At Bethel, a group of prophets came to Elisha quietly. They whispered,
"Do you know that the Lord will take your master away from you today?"
"Yes, I know. Be quiet."
But Elijah tested him again.
"Stay here, Elisha. The Lord has sent me to Jericho."
"I will not leave you."
At Jericho, the same message came from the prophets. And once again, Elisha stood firm. 50 men from the company of prophets followed them at a distance as Elijah and Elisha stopped at the Jordan River. Elijah took his cloak, his mantle, rolled it up, and struck the water. Immediately, the river split into two, and both men crossed over on dry ground. A moment of silence filled the air. This was no ordinary journey. This was the final walk. After crossing, Elijah turned to Elisha and said something powerful.
"Tell me, what can I do for you before I am taken from you? Let me inherit a double portion of your spirit."
A double portion, not just to follow Elijah, but to carry even greater impact. Elijah looked at him carefully and replied,
"You have asked a difficult thing. Yet, if you see me when I am taken from you, it will be yours."
As they walked and talked, suddenly a chariot of fire appeared. Horses of fire blazing with glory separated the two men. And then Elijah was taken up to heaven in a whirlwind, not by death, not by sickness, but by the power and glory of God. Elisha cried out with a broken yet reverent voice,
My father! The chariots and horsemen of Israel!
And just like that, Elijah was gone. But something remained. As Elijah ascended, his mantle, his cloak, fell to the ground. Elisha picked it up. This was more than cloth. It was a symbol of calling, a transfer of authority, a confirmation that heaven had answered his request. Elisha returned to the Jordan River, the same place where Elijah had performed his last miracle. He took the mantle, struck the water, and declared,
Where now is the Lord, the God of Elijah?
Immediately, the water parted again, and Elisha walked across. The same power, the same God, but now resting on a new vessel. The prophets watching from afar saw it happen, and they said, the spirit of Elijah is resting on Elisha. Elisha has stepped into his purpose, not as a replacement, but as a continuation of God's divine work. This story is more than history. It is a message. Elijah's journey reminds us that a life fully surrendered to God leaves a legacy that cannot be erased. Elisha's story teaches us something deeper, that hunger for more of God attracts divine empowerment. He stayed, he followed, he refused to give up, and when the moment came, he received. God is still raising people like Elisha today, people who will not settle, people who will stay committed, people who will boldly ask for more. The question is, will you stay when it gets hard? Will you follow when it's so comfortable? Will you ask for more when the opportunity comes? Because somewhere your mantle is waiting. Stay faithful, stay hungry. Your moment is coming.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more uplifting Christian content. God bless you.